Welcome to the podcast kit. I'm Bri.
I'm Joey.
I'm Rachel.
And this
is SoCal Slaughters.
How are we?
How's everybody?
Happy 420.
Happy 420
420,
in whatever
guys.
capacity that means to you.
Yeah. However you choose
However
to
you,
celebrate.
yeah.
Didn't it used to be like Earth Day as well?
It is still Earth
It's Earth
Day.
Day?
Is there?
I believe.
I thought Earth Day was in March.
No, I'm pretty sure it's
Is that
always
Arbor Day?
420.
Yeah. I think.
Oh, I
Earth
don't
Day is
know.
420.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, how are you guys feeling today?
Pretty
Today's
good.
The first day that our podcast actually appeared on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes, launch day.
Launch day.
Launch
Would have been yesterday,
Was
but
supposed to be
we
yesterday.
underestimated
Yeah.
the length of time it would take.
Evidently, it takes an entire day to upload.
A full 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. day.
Yeah.
Because our podcast is very juicy and thick.
Heavy.
Heavy.
I believe the
Sure.
word was
Heavy.
heavy.
Yeah.
Good with being thick with
Yeah.
information.
Yeah. I mean, it's that now, though. It might have taken a whole day, and it actually caused us to be kind of liars because
Yeah.
it actually came out today instead of yesterday. But we did put it out yesterday. It was outside of our control.
Right.
Yes.
So-
Outside
Blame
our
YouTube.
control. As with the audio, so please bear with us.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have worked out all the kinks.
By now, hopefully, we've already had one episode out that we've, cleared the audio
Yes.
issues that we were having in those first two episodes.
Yeah.
So we should be on a roll
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good to
then
go.
we will not only be on YouTube, which subscribe, comment,
Share all the stuff. Engage.
but we'll also be on Spotify soon.
This one,
Yeah.
well, this one as this is airing, we should have one already out.
For the first
On-
time on the audio platform.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So just our first two episodes are YouTube only.
Yeah, exclusive. They were exclusives.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
Just turn your volume all the way up.
All this as high as it can go for those first two episodes. It's all right. We're learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we
You
have
guys
learned.
are on this journey with us.
Yeah.
We want to provide the content from all the stories that we've researched, that we care about, that we put our heart and soul into. And hopefully that will still come across.
Yeah. I mean, you're still getting the information. You can hear
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
person the most in those two videos
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyways.
you're getting the story.
Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
the story's at. We're just
We're just here for
Yeah. We're
Peanut
peanut gallery.
Jinx. But, now the peanut gallery's fun though. So
it is really Charlie
Yeah.
Brown, though. It's
Yeah.
like,
yeah, it is.
It's fine, guys. It's fine.
Well, what kind of
Should we-
beverage
yeah.
do we have today?
Let's go going on.
Brienne.
Tonight, because our story does take place in LA, this cocktail is the LA Sunset.
Oh, cute.
And what's more LA than a little tequila cocktail, Tajín, and my favorite, the chamoy straw. My favorite.
You bit your bottom.
Although
though,
this
so
is,
you can suck through it right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully.
It's an illusion because ours is not a straw.
Yeah, we did not know that, and we were trying to get
I don't know that there's a graceful way to nod it either, so
All right,
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it on camera.
cheers, ladies.
Cheers
Cheers.
on selfish.
Yeah, we got that tahini.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Ooh.
It was successful. This
Yeah.
works.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
Yum. That's
Yes.
blood orange,
Yeah.
fresh squeezed blood orange.
Real little.
You'll see
So
the
good.
video.
Yeah,
You'll
that's
see our cocktail video.
delightful.
Mine is, as always, a mocktail or a Bri-lixir.
Bri-
A Bri-lixir.
So mine is a little bit more tart, but honestly, it's so well balanced, and I'm very proud of this cocktail.
Yeah,
It's good. Yeah.
You should be. It's very good. We have
We have a little true crime news.
Yeah.
For anyone that's been following, I guess by the time this comes out, it will be old news. But as of today, singer David, who is only 21.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that
age
young.
difference is still bad, but
I mean,
it
for
could be
sure.
worse.
He was still 18.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought he
regardless.
was way older, but
Yeah.
Well, she hasn't been in the trunk for 3 years.
No, but when they met,
No.
yeah,
Yeah, but-
because they had a full couple year relationship going.
So she was 11?
she went missing April 2024.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
When
But
she
he still met her when he was 18,
Yeah.
which would make her
she was in,
11.
Right.
she was in like middle school.
yeah.
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
Maybe elementary, depending. Some schools.
This is why I
Fifth
say
grade, sixth
everything
grade.
that I say to my daughter. You cannot trust people, no matter how nice they are to you. Listen to your mom, kids.
Also, when they're that much older than you, no matter what they tell you, you are not mature for your age.
Oh, yeah.
No. You're
yeah,
a
that's
baby.
not
No,
real.
it's not a real thing.
That's not a real thing.
It's not a real thing because do they have guy friends that age?
Exactly.
No.
That's what I'm talking about. Is your best friend an 11-year-old?
Right.
If you are, I hope that there's, some other circumstances that are affecting you that make you more equivalent to an 11-year-old.
Yes. Celeste Rivas was found in the trunk of his car, car registered to him in September 2025.
Yes.
She was 14.
Yeah, at that time.
They arrested him a few days ago. As of today, I wrote it down because I forget. He is being charged with first-degree murder with special circumstances, which is lying in wait, committing a murder for financial gain,
Yeah.
and murdering a witness in an investigation.
And then
He is also being charged with lewd and lascivious sexual acts with a person under 14 and mutilating a human body.
yeah, mutilating a corpse.
So
He
if
could-
this was, is it Indiana? Where now they're executing child
I
predators
think
by
so.
firing squad?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad.
He could face a maximum sentence without parole or with the death penalty.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
in
but in
California, we don't
California-
have a death penalty, so
Yeah.
it just means death row until if it gets reinstated, then he could be executed.
Right.
But I don't think it will.
Extradite him to Indiana?
I support that. I'll sign that.
I mean, it's just finally.
Yeah, I mean, we've all
have-
How long
known
did this take?
It took way
at
too long.
least, what month is it? April?
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
7
since
months?
September.
Yeah.
This guy started his tour.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he continued his tour
Yes.
while he knew that this was happening, and even I mean, that just didn't look good either way.
Right.
Like even if you knew it wasn't you,
Right.
like if I heard that somebody found a body in my trunk, I'll be home. I'm coming home.
Yeah.
This is
Especially
crazy.
someone he had such a close relationship
Yeah.
with. This wasn't just
But
a
he
stranger
didn't
in
know
his
her,
car.
Yeah.
remember? They weren't close.
Well, because they were trying to hide everything on there was a bunch of stuff on social,
yeah. If
but
they-
everything was being hidden, and her face was always being hidden and
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, because she was
a missing person.
missing person, 13 years old.
Right.
Why is he hanging out with a 13-year-old?
And wasn't it like it was a teacher that they had, a mutual teacher.
Yeah.
That was the one that came forward and was like, no, they had a relationship.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, gross.
Damn. And we all knew it, but they can't just arrest you.
Yeah,
They could
No,
mess up
of
the
course.
entire investigation if they don't have.
exactly.
Enough evidence
they
and
did
enough
just
things to
go after
hold.
him. From what I read, the I believe was it the grand jury was dragging their feet, and the police were like, "Nope, we're gonna go and we're gonna arrest this guy. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
It was going to be upheld."
Yeah.
Yeah, because they took so long. I mean, there was no arrest even for just way too long, and then finally they
were talking to
announced the
him. They
arrest,
searched
and
his
he was
house. A person of interest.
Yeah. We got it. It's handled. Let's go.
Well, let's
Yeah.
hope that
Yeah.
the case is strong enough.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems pretty strong.
Yeah.
There was so many things happened.
Yeah.
We'll cover it in total because it's Southern California.
We'll keep
homicide,
going
so,
on the updates on
we
this
will
guy,
definitely do a full thing once we get to a good place.
Trial updates
trial
too,
yeah,
and
stuff
all
like that.
that.
But
Yeah.
eventually we'll cover the exact findings and timelines and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Thing.
it's still good news today.
Yeah. Still
Yeah.
really good news today.
How are you feeling? Are you ready to jump in?
Oh, I am ready.
All right.
This case is going to take us on a very long journey,
Oh,
and because it covers the span of 25 years.
okay.
So I will do my best to pay as much tribute to as many of the victims as possible, but we're going to try to not go into crazy depth with all of them because we would be here for a very long time.
Okay.
But each person has their own story.
Of
so
course.
Yeah.
I'll do my best to honor them.
All right.
So, here we go.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Southside Los Angeles. It's the early morning of July 1st, 2007.
Okay.
So, a man is digging through a dumpster in an alley when he comes across a black bag that's sealed tight. So black garbage bag inside of this dumpster, and immediately he's like, something ain't right.
Oh, no.
He ends up calling it into police, and what seems to be a very similar case to many others on the streets of Southside Los Angeles is actually related to so many others. And they're about to find out, okay? So it's the mid-'80s. We're going to jump back to the mid-'80s in Southside Los Angeles. It was in the throes of a major crack epidemic. So we had a lot of families that at one time this community was thriving. There were it is a black community. There was, these were proud families. These were good families. And unfortunately, when the crack epidemic hit, it ran through every household. So pretty much everybody knew somebody or had a family member that was going to be affected by this. So everybody's lives on a daily basis were filled with crime and drugs and violence. So in the midst of this, we have a lot of young black women who are being found dead on the streets. And a lot of times they got overlooked by police because they thought it was drug related or that they were a sex worker and something had gone wrong. It was the perfect place for a serial killer to be on the loose. And that's exactly what happened. So the man behind this, he lived right in the center of this. The people that knew him were like, he's a friendly guy. He is always had a neighborly smile. He had a seemingly normal household. He was married with children. He had a steady job. And he would regularly help people on the block. So unsuspecting, right? But really, he had turned this neighborhood into a hunting ground. So according to Dr. Scott Bond, professor of sociology and criminology, most serial killers have what's known as a comfort zone. Usually this is, close proximity to their home, place where they can easily stalk and find their next victim and feel completely comfortable. And that's exactly what Lonnie Franklin Jr. did in South Central LA. So he hunted down, he beat, he shot, he sexually assaulted, and he dumped the bodies of at least 10 known victims over the course of 25 years and in just a 5-mile radius. And he eluded police and the community for 25 years. So he had them just in a chokehold, basically.
Because they were chalking it up to drug related deaths.
Well, we'll get into this.
Okay.
But there are various reasons why it was delayed as long as it was. But this man lucked out in a lot of ways over the course of that 25 years. So I'm going to take you back. The years 1984 to 1988 marked an era of fear within this community. Beginning in 1984 with the discovery of Sharon Dismuke in a gas station restroom. She'd been shot twice in the left side of her chest with a .25 caliber handgun. She'd been gagged with a white cloth and left for dead. 1985, the body of Deborah Jackson was discovered under a piece of carpet in an alleyway. She had been shot 3 times in the chest by a .25 caliber handgun. She had also had a piece of cloth stuffed in her mouth. And though DNA was collected at the scene, at that time, the technology for DNA just wasn't advanced enough, but they still collect and bagged all the evidence. 1986, the body of Henrietta Wright was found wrapped in a blanket. Her body had been hidden by a mattress in an alleyway, and it wasn't that far from Deborah Jackson's body. Henrietta had been shot twice in the chest at close range, and again, her mouth had been gagged with a cloth. Just like Sharon Dismuke, just like Deborah Jackson, all of these women, having been shot with a .25 caliber handgun, they had been gagged. You would think that with all of these similarities, it'd be alarm bells for police officers, but at this time, it was unfortunately pretty normal to find the bodies of Black women on the street that had just been discarded and covered up. The time just seems wild to me.
It just seems a little bit ridiculous that they wouldn't have seen the similarities in.
I will say this, it did not go unnoticed to the community
For sure.
that was the take.
But the LAPD.
I cannot say, because I definitely never want to put down our police officers because of what they go through, but at the same time, it was absolutely the feeling of the community that it's another one,
right?
You know, which is so unfortunate.
Yeah.
So at the time that these murders took place, the police were obviously not connecting things, but unfortunately, we are going to see that this pattern is going to continue. Eventually, through actually good police work, they do start to notice that these crimes have to be the same. And that came when ballistics reports started to come out. They were able to tie the .25 caliber handgun, the slugs found, to each other. They knew that it was the same man. But when they ran this through the system, it didn't hit on anybody that was tied to a handgun that was in any way in the system. They had not been used in any other crime, so unfortunately they couldn't do anything with it, but they knew what it was. They knew that they were tied to each other. In January 1987, an anonymous phone call comes in to 911 dispatch. Someone has witnessed a body being dumped in a dark alley. The witness says that a man dumped a body, covered it with debris, and then got into a white and blue van and drove away. He said it was too dark for him to identify the driver, but he gave them a driver's license number, or excuse me, a license plate. So police arrive at the scene, and then other police, they run this license plate right away. When police arrive at the scene, it is so dark in this alleyway that they actually have trouble locating the body.
Wow.
But they do have this license plate. So they run it through, and sure enough, it is connected to a white van with blue stripes on it. But this van belongs to a church.
What?
Really?
So police officers go down to the church and they interview everybody that was there at the time of the body dump, and all of them are accounted for. And really unfortunate, they fingerprint the van. All of those fingerprints belong to church members who were all accounted for.
Yeah.
So it's a total dead end. But what the driver was trying to provide with regards to a story to throw people off, I guess is what we're thinking. He was actually giving them a clue that allowed police officers to know, hey, this guy is probably the killer. Because how would this man be able to describe that van and see a license plate in an alley that's that dark?
Yeah.
So dark that they couldn't even locate this body. So they were like, this guy, most likely the killer, which means that he's paying attention and he's actually kind of taunting us a little bit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right? So unfortunately, we do have another body. It is the body of Barbara Ware. So her body was discovered in the alley. She was also shot in the chest with a .25 caliber handgun, and she was discovered right next to a dumpster, beaten, shot, and strangled. Also gagged with a piece of cloth. Next was Mary Lowe. Lowe was last seen on Halloween night getting into what witnesses describe as a red-orange Pinto. So she was found in the alleyway behind a business center. She'd been beaten, strangled, and shot once in the chest.
It just seems so over the top.
Yeah.
Like you're strangling them,
And
which
you're
is
shooting them.
and then you're shooting them.
Right.
All will be
Like
revealed,
just to
my
make
friends.
sure that he finished the job.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just overkill. No pun intended.
What I feel like, it seems as if, just because I've heard so many of these stories before, strangulation to then be able to sexually assault somebody
Okay.
and then killing them before you dump their body is my thought of like the chain of events.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
I didn't think of it like that.
Seems like a very angry man that's got some real angry person. Okay. The last time someone saw her, they saw her getting into a red and orange Pinto. The cops could have used this, but they did not connect her to the previous crimes right away.
Serious?
They found her body and they just didn't follow up on the lead, because at the same time that this was going on, there were 2 other serial killers that were loose on the streets of
Richard
LA.
Ramirez is
Richard
one.
Ramirez, yes.
Yeah.
So that lead dried up, which is unfortunate, but
also, well, okay.
no.
Well, Richard Ramirez wasn't killing people in alleys. He was breaking into their homes.
Yes.
But I guess they're busy with a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Can't really.
I mean, it's LA.
Yeah.
It is LA.
But still, like, I mean, this is what, 4
This
victims?
is year after year of this happening.
And they all have the same, you know,
Same MO.
MO. Like, it's
Shot
just-
with the same
yeah.
gun, strangled.
And then the
white cloth.
is a, you know,
beaten.
dead giveaway. So it's like,
For me, it is.
He's
Yeah.
not straying at all from his
No,
tactics.
yeah.
No, and all in alleyways,
yeah.
Yeah.
all very close proximity.
Yeah.
But South Central LA is very tight.
Busy.
Yes.
Oh.
1988 brought with it the discovery of 2 new victims. Oh, excuse me, 3 new victims. 22-year-old Lucretia Jefferson's body was discovered also in an alleyway. She had been covered with a piece of plywood in an attempt to cover her body. And Lucretia's case is special in the later part of this story, just holding on to that, but it is very significant. So she had been shot twice as well. However, rather than gagging her with a cloth, the killer had taken a paper napkin, which he had written AIDS on, put it in her mouth, and he taped over it with a piece of surgical tape.
Oh.
Also found next to her body was a used and discarded condom. So this evidence was collected even though they couldn't use it then. Police knew that the technology was coming.
Yeah.
So they saved it. And that evidence was going to be crucial later on because there was a lot of DNA in this case. Next, on September 11th, the body of 18-year-old Monique Alexander was found. She had been sexually assaulted and had a gunshot wound to the left side of her chest. Investigation into Monique's case found that she had been seen right by her house getting into a red-orange Pinto. Now, I've watched a few documentaries, and her brother, oh gosh, it breaks my heart because he was like, she was such a good kid. She got straight. She was great in school. She was a great person, and she would never have gotten into a car with someone she didn't know. Mm-hmm. She got into a car right by her house. So he was of the idea that she felt comfortable enough to get into this car.
That was my thought. Is like he said specifically that she didn't know. But that maybe like leads to the fact that he was at least somebody in the community
that she had met. She knows.
Yeah.
She's seen.
Well, at least that's how he felt. You know, because this isn't another person or another woman that maybe had ties to sex work or addiction. This was a good girl that she was just a vulnerable person.
Yeah.
But because of that link to that red-orange Pinto that she was seen getting into, police were able to then tie it to Mary Lowe's case.
Okay.
And they knew at that point, that they fucked up because they didn't put out, they could have searched all of California for that red-orange Pinto if they would have actually used that information when they were given it. Mm-hmm. But here we are now, and they did a DMV search of all red-orange Pintos in the area, but nothing came up. There were no positive leads. Anyone that they found, those people had alibis. Those people were completely cleared. So it's another dead end.
Yeah.
Then on November 20th, 1988, comes the first major break in this case. Anitria Washington, a 30-year-old nurse just on her night off, arrived at her friend's house, crawling onto the stoop, bloody from a gunshot wound. And she passes out. Her friend calls 911 and she is rushed to the hospital. She spends hours in surgery and she survives.
Oh, good.
When Anitria wakes up, she's able to talk to police, and the story that she tells them is wild. So she was out front of her house on a Friday night. She was getting out there ready to go and have a party or go to her friend's house for a party, and this guy in an orange red Pinto pulls up and they start chatting. She says he's super charismatic. What are you doing tonight? She's like, oh, I'm going to a party. What are you gonna do tonight? Just like a average exchange. But what she said was that he was very persistent in giving her a ride to her friend's house. And she was like, you know what? He seems nice. He seems cool. And she goes inside and is like, I'm going to change real quick and let's go. And she hops in the car.
No.
Oh, no.
Yes.
You don't ever do that.
Because her friend's house is right around the corner. I think she thought, like, what's the harm?
Well, I mean, once you get in a car, you don't know it doesn't matter where things are.
She said he was charming and very charismatic. But so they start to drive, and she notices almost immediately that they are not going in the right direction.
Exactly.
But the man that was driving said, hey, I just got to stop by my uncle's house real quick and pick up some money.
Nope.
And they do. They stop. He hops out. She sees him talking to this guy in front of an apartment building. She waits there a little while longer, and he gets back in the car. They take off, and she said almost immediately she felt a shift. His demeanor completely changed. He starts acting really aggressive to her, and he's saying crazy stuff to her. But while he's yelling these things at her, he's calling her Barbara. And she's like, who is Barbara? My name is not Barbara. This is just alarm bells going off for her. Anitria has grown up on these streets, though. So she is like, I absolutely am not doing this. So she reaches for the door handle. It's right then that she gets shot at point blank range in the chest. Anitria wakes up to the flash of a photo being taken of her. This man is on top of her, sexually assaulting her, and taking shots of her with his Polaroid camera of her bleeding body that's totally incapacitated. She says that she came in and out of consciousness because, of course, she's been shot, but she notices that it's dark out. When she had gotten picked up, it was still light out. So she knows time has passed.
Yeah.
Even though she's in and out of consciousness, the next thing that she knows is that she's getting rolled out of the side, dumped in an alley, and the car takes off. That's when Anitria Johnson crawls to her friend's house. Wow. So this woman has survived a gunshot, has fought her way to get to her friend's house. She survived surgery. And when she gets interviewed by police and she tells them all of this, she's able to give a sketch artist the sketch artist has created a composite drawing of this man. She's even able to take the police along the route that they took.
Wow.
Because this is her neighborhood. Yeah. She drove them directly to the house that he stopped at. So they're like, this is great. We're going to catch him. They go, this house is owned by a 70-year-old man. So it's definitely not the young black man that had picked her up. And they search the house. They find a .22 caliber handgun, but it's not the one. They cannot trace anything back to the owner of this home, and they know it's not him.
Right.
So even though she's survived, she's given them all this information, the person that picked her up is nowhere to be found. So what they're thinking is that he took her to this house and then darted somewhere else and picked up that gun. However, they don't have any leads. This now has been, the fourth time that this guy has gotten away with all of this evidence stacked against him. So she's just got to go back home to where this man picked her up in front of and live her life. About a year later, Anitra is outside of her home.
Oh, no.
And a man approaches her. And he walks up to her and says, "Do you know who I am?" And she goes, "No, should I?" And he looked her dead in the eyes, and she said she just felt it.
Oh,
and
my
he
God.
walked away from her.
That's terrifying.
She was horrified. She knew in her heart that it was him, but she didn't really recognize this man as someone she knew.
That's crazy because she was able to give a composite sketch.
But it's been a year.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a year, and she wasn't expecting somebody to just randomly walk up to her, you know, catching her completely off guard.
Yeah.
But terrified.
Wow.
Her. So after Anitra Johnson, the killings stop. But science did not stop. And it was...
So that was his last known victim?
No.
Oh.
So, while this is stopped, DNA evidence or DNA forensics actually continues to develop. And it was introduced in the late 80s. Unfortunately, it wasn't something that they were starting to implement in a lot of cases yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it was in 1998 that the FBI officially launched the NDIS, or the National DNA Index System. And before that, there wasn't a place where DNA evidence was being uploaded and shared throughout the entirety of the U.S. So this is like next level CODIS. And CODIS is the combined DNA index system that we know and use today.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, all 50 states are all sharing the DNA evidence that they have all compiled. And in 2001, the LAPD established the Cold Case Homicide Unit. They began the process of entering all the DNA from all of the cold case evidence kits at that point. And due to the fact that it was not required federally for offenders that had felonies to upload their DNA or to keep their DNA on file, Lonnie Franklin, even though he did go to jail and did have a felony, his DNA wasn't taken.
Wow.
So wild that he got to
He just keeps like slipping
just
through all these
right
little
under.
cracks.
Yeah.
So 2002, we're going to jump ahead.
Okay.
The body of 15-year-old Princess
15.
Berthomew, her body was found naked, strangled, and beaten in an alley. She was the youngest victim, and man, I'm not going to get completely into it, but this young woman's story is horrifying. She, at 2 years old, became the worst victim or the worst case of child abuse ever in LA history.
Wow.
It's terrible what happened.
Yeah,
to
we
her.
don't need
It really
details
is.
on that.
Yeah.
But she was placed in a foster home at 2, and she lived with her foster family, who became her family, for 10 years until her foster mother passed away. It was at that time the only family that she knew was her foster family, and her older sister tried to petition to keep her, but she just didn't meet the requirements. So she was put into the system, and that's how she ended up in South Central LA. At 12, she was placed there, and then at 15, she ran away. 3 days later is when her body was found. The most tragic. Okay?
Yeah.
But DNA evidence from her case was uploaded into CODIS. No matches were found. July 11th, 2003 was the discovery of Valerie McCorvey. She was found by a crossing guard in an alley. She had been sexually assaulted and strangled to death. Now, this is different than the other cases because they weren't shot. They were strangled. but something about the way that their bodies were left in an alley, though, that they knew that these cases were tied. It was just bringing up all of these familiar feelings. But they couldn't officially tie it. However, it didn't stop the LAPD from forming a task force that was going to be looking into tying these cases together. 2006, an LA Weekly reporter by the name of Christine Pileski heard about these murders from the coroner's office, and she began to investigate them on her own. So 38 different women were found on the streets from the early 80s to where they're at in 2006. And she took it upon herself to say, what is going on? Yeah. There's something going on in South Central LA. There's more than what the police are telling us.
Yeah.
She starts getting in with the family. She interviews all of them. She's trying to make sure that the community knows, you guys have a serial killer in your midst. There's somebody. I don't know how all of these are tied together. They may not be, but you guys need to know that this is actually happening. And they knew, and they felt the fact that the police were not giving them all the information, and they were not solving any of these crimes. In 2008, Pileski knew that the police were dragging their feet, so she decided to write another article. In that article, she knew that she needed to grab the reader's attention, so that's when she dubbed him the Grim Sleeper. And it was because of that 14-year hiatus that he took from 1988 to 2002 that they knew that this was the same serial killer. They had to have all been connected, but they just didn't know how far-reaching it was at that point. The LAPD got word that this article was coming out, and that's when they chose to have a press release and inform the public that they had a serial killer that was amongst them. And LA City Council offered up a $500,000 reward for any leads that would lead to the capture of this man. Biggest reward ever offered in LA history.
Wow.
So they were taking it seriously.
Now.
Yes. Now. I think that they were before. They'd formed the task force, but they didn't have any significant leads. And they did not want to spook whoever was doing this and have them go into hiding, had them flee. They didn't want him to know, or at least this is what I've read, they didn't want him to know that they were after him.
And he went into hiding anyways.
Yeah.
So
finally in 2007, the body of Genesia Peters was found by a man digging through the dumpster in an alley. Her red fingernails stood out in stark contrast to that black garbage bag that he had dumped her in. DNA taken from the twist tie of that garbage bag was linked to the 2003 murder of Princess Bartholomew and Valerie McCorvey. However, it was when the DNA sample was uploaded into CODIS that they were able to link it to the murders that happened in 1980. So it was only then that they were actually able to link it together. The reporter saw the similarities, the community saw it, but it wasn't until this last murder that they were able to definitively link the murders, which is wild to me.
That's crazy.
So, unfortunately, there wasn't a match in the system. So now they're just waiting. So, do you guys remember the 911 phone call that happened that identified that van? It's when police were going over those details that they actually are going, so there is that big clue. This was too dark. This had to have been the killer, right?
Yeah.
So in that, they really start to hone in on the fact that this has to be a man from the area. And they start to release the recording of that 911 phone call in hopes that somebody's going to be able to identify his voice.
Recognize his voice.
Because they no longer in any way believe that it was anyone but the killer.
Yeah.
So it was in 2008 that they finally got a huge break in this case. The Attorney General of California approved the use of familial DNA from cold cases. So for those of you that don't know what familial DNA is, it's establishing a familial link in a DNA sample, and they use through the process of elimination the father, uncle, brother. They're able to identify the next of kin based on one felon's DNA. So it can be a partial match, and they'll be able to then go back through and establish a family tree and eliminate people based on age, based on their location at the time, so many different things. And it's when Detective Dennis Kilcoyne learned of this approval that he was like, this is our chance. There were over 1 million samples that were currently in CODIS at that time, and he was like, if we have any opportunity, this is going to be it. So they uploaded it and they waited, because they have to go through every single one. But there were no matches. And again, they're just waiting. And 3 years later, he knows more people have been uploaded. It's about 400,000 more people have been uploaded into this system. And guess what? There's a match. It's a partial match, but there's a match. It's for a felon by the name of Christopher Franklin. He's 21 and he was in jail on a weapons charge. It was a felony weapons charge. And what they were able to see is that, okay, so Christopher's 21. Couldn't be him because he wasn't alive then.
Yeah.
And the partial match indicated that it was a first order male relative, meaning that it was either his brother or his father.
Yeah.
Christopher doesn't have a brother, but he has a father who is very much alive. His father, 51-year-old Lonnie Franklin Jr. That would make him exactly the perfect age to have taken part in those 1980s killings and then be 51 today. So Lonnie Franklin lives in South Central LA on 81st Street, which is literally in the center of that 5-mile radius. He is 57, sorry, not 51, which would make him perfect for that age. He once worked as an LAPD garage attendant, and then he became an LA sanitation worker. So he worked for the Department of Sanitation.
So he knew exactly which alleys too.
All of the alleyways. He knew where to go. He was familiar with all of them. Not only that, but where he lived was just 3 doors down from where Anitria was picked up.
Wow.
Which is insane to me. But it's a killer hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
So with all of that mounting evidence, police began a huge surveillance operation. They are monitoring wherever this man went, just praying for him to discard a cigarette butt or a piece of trash or anything that could have his DNA on it, but nothing. This man, they were waiting and nothing was taking place for weeks. And then they got their chance. He went to a birthday party at a pizza parlor, and one of the detectives, disguised as a busboy, waited.
This is like one of my top 3 favorite catch a killer stories.
Yes, it's the best.
Top 3.
So he's waiting, and he clears his plate, his cup, his napkin, and they take discarded food, and they take it straight to the crime lab, and they just wait. While they're waiting, they continue their surveillance, but the crime lab is able to get Lonnie Franklin's DNA off of a piece of cheese on a pizza. It had hardened, and they were able to pull a sample from it. Like, a piece of cheese on a pizza. This man eluded police. His car, his DNA, he was in jail, and you got taken out by a piece of cheese. Freaking cheese on a pizza.
I'll bet he never looked at pizza the same again.
I hope he chokes on a piece of pizza that he has forever. But they, armed with this, police execute an arrest warrant. They go to his house and they quietly arrested him. Mm-hmm. When they searched his home in his garage, they found videotapes of women in his home in various states of inebriation, we'll call it. Mm-hmm. And they saw a hole in the drywall, and they reached in. They found somewhere between 135 to 150 Polaroids. In those Polaroids was the one taken of Anitria.
Oh, I just got chills.
Yeah, because once you said that, the
pictures came back on.
Like,
yeah,
like 100%. I knew like that he was taking pictures of every single one of them. Like if 100%. He was, you know, if he took that picture of Anitria, like that was part of his thing. That was part of his collection.
But also sidebar, he also used to, like, when he would have consensual sexual relations with the women, he would take pictures. He would show them to the guys like in the neighborhood. So when all these guys would even see him with all these women anyway, they were like, oh, that's just Lonnie, like with his women.
When they ended up talking to people that he knew, friends, neighbors, there was quite a few that were completely caught off guard, but there were other people that were like, oh,
gotcha.
That conversation. He showed a box of underwear to a woman neighbor.
That's
like
so fucking weird.
Underwear that you're just fine. That's okay. Like, I guess it's a red flag of just like, maybe I'm just not going to talk to
stay away
anymore.
Yeah.
But he was also seen as that guy that, you know what, that guy worked on my car one time, you know, and for free. Like, he was helpful in all these ways. Like,
staying under the radar.
Well, staying under the radar, watching out for the neighborhood, but really, he was watching for who the most vulnerable people were.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can't. So they arrest Lonnie, and in the interrogation, they start asking him about the murders, and he's like, no. And they start showing him pictures. He's like, I don't recognize any of them. And then they show him Anitria. And it's undeniable. Mm-hmm. And they already know they got him, but he denied everything. His wife, who he had been married to for 32 years, a devout Christian woman, just completely stonewalled the investigators. She never cooperated at all. His son has done interviews and other documentaries, but he just seems like indifferent to it at times. He doesn't seem like he's in any way defending his dad, but he also
just very like matter of fact.
Yes. And to me, I'm like, I don't feel like he was like hiding as well as he thought, because I feel like his son didn't turn out that well. I mean, he has that felony weapons charge, and he doesn't seem to like be denouncing his dad. He just seems indifferent to it. So
he might have just disconnected from it.
Maybe. I don't know. But wild. So he was formally charged and convicted for the deaths of 10 people, 9 women and 1 15-year-old girl, whose all of their bodies were discovered from 1985 to 2007. Notice that I say 1985 because the first murder we talked about was in 1984.
Yeah.
Because they weren't able to get the DNA evidence back in time to prove that he had actually murdered her, but for the time of the trial. But when it came to sentencing, you better believe that they had the right information, and all of the cases were presented at that time. The Polaroids were presented, and Anitria Washington was pivotal to this case, to making sure not only that he was convicted, but that his sentencing was
harsh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
So
that must have been hard for her to relive.
I saw a documentary with her in it, and she said that he actually came up to her before a trial and tried to apologize.
Bitch.
Like, I don't know how you could not, like, attack him. There's no way.
How do you apologize for that?
Yeah. Like, what is that?
Like, that's not a thing. That's not like
that's
a thing.
not a real,
oh my God, Thank you so much
like,
for apology. Get the
what?
fuck out of here.
It's not, that's not, you don't know.
No. It's wild to me. This case is crazy. But so LAPD, once they did know that they conclusively had him, they had a private meeting with all of the loved ones of all of the victims to let them know. They got informed first.
That's good.
Which
I
was
like that.
really good. In an attempt to identify more victims, LAPD worked with local news agencies and local newspapers and they released the Polaroids that they weren't able to identify the women in. So they got a lot of hits. There were women that were absolutely still alive that said they remembered it and he was cool. It wasn't anything like crazy creepy. They definitely said that he was a freak, but they were safe afterwards. Some of the women had passed away, not by his hand, but there still are about 35 unidentified women. So they continually post these Polaroids. The LAPD has a link on their current website where people can go and try to identify them to this day.
I think that's the same for Rodney Alcala. They found like 200 plus pictures in his locker in Huntington.
Yeah.
And released all of them.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. Because he's
Y'all-
up in North. he's a North and a South. He's a up and down the coast killer.
But that was here and then in Washington, right?
Yeah.
Where his storage units where he kept all of those things.
Yeah.
All the
Maybe the locker
memorabilia
was up.
It was
in
up
Washington.
north.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was with the with his little trophies.
Yeah.
Too.
But he did have victims in Huntington.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, in a community of people that were already struggling, Lonnie Franklin Jr. spent decades terrorizing them. Many of his victims were just overlooked for whatever various reasons, socioeconomical, what their profession was. And it took the persistence of investigators, journalists, and the community to finally bring enough light to this case to get it the manpower that it deserved.
Yeah.
Franklin died in prison in 2020, as he should.
Was it awful? Did he suffer?
Here's hoping. But for the family of the victims, it's closure, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent.
To a degree, yeah.
But for the unidentified women in those photos and their families, there's no closure yet.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I hope that people continue to go onto the LAPD website and look through those photos. If you have a loved one that's missing,
Maybe we can link it.
oh yeah,
We'll link it in the show notes.
for sure, for sure. But definitely try. So that is the case of Lonnie Franklin Jr. or the South Side Slayer or the 25 caliber killer or
The Grim
The Grim Sleeper.
the Grim Sleeper.
Wow.
That's
a heavy one. That was
Yeah.
a heavy one. You
That's
need to
why,
take
that's
a
why
very big exhale after that.
it's a big one.
that's going to take a while to upload.
Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. We'll give that a 48 hour.
Yeah. Head start.
Yeah. So also I wanted to mention, since our release date happened today, we've had friends and family watching all day. One of my best friends, Melissa, who is initially from San Bernardino, her grandfather, after retiring from the post office, got a part-time job at Patton State Mental Facility, and he worked in the cafeteria
Okay.
in the early 2000s. So
So?
he might have been there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a little fun fact for you.
Yeah.
Charles Alloway could be somebody that he served. and
Right.
maybe
Very high
just,
possibility.
like, throw some food out.
Yeah, she did say that they eat very well at that place.
Yeah.
so that's good
I've
to know.
heard. It's
Yeah,
supposed to be
Yeah.
like,
Like a 5-star resort.
Yeah.
5-star resort.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as mental health.
and not
institution.
all of
For
them
sure,
are murderers at the hospital.
Yeah,
so it's not like
exactly,
they're
I
So.
imagine that quite a few are criminal.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's also like minimum security, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're not gonna put like
Yeah.
the hardest of criminals there.
Right.
So.
Like Girl Interrupted.
Yeah. Or like the one that Morgan Geyser just escaped from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just and there she goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's fine. She's back now.
They learned their lesson on that.
Put her
one.
back in jail.
Put her back where she belongs.
Yeah, if you can escape there, you might
Yeah.
as well. We'll just we'll lock you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that, ladies?
That was, again,
He's a bad one.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy. I'm glad he's
Really
dead.
bad guy.
But that was a lot of information.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. There was a lot.
Yeah.
Every single one of those victims deserves their own at-length story.
100%.
I'm sorry that our show is as short as it is, but I did the best that I could to make sure that each one of them got acknowledged because, man, there were way too many.
Yeah.
There were way too many. All right, ladies, are you ready to close the tab on tonight's case?
Yes.
I definitely am.
Yep.
Till next time.
Yeah.
Don't get 86.
86. And salute to the victims.
That one. Yeah, salute.
Yeah.